Hi, I'm Sherry McGill, and you're watching Lessons Learned. Hello everyone, welcome back to Monday Quilt Chat. Let's see what we can chat about today. I hope you all are doing great and that you had a great weekend and maybe you got some sewing in. As usual, I always try to encourage you to do just a little bit. And I really did jump right into this project behind me on Friday and got that, for the most part, finished. It needs a really good starching, and I did just wind up putting some 2-inch vertical straight line stitching on it. I'm going to ask the person who wanted me to make this, I'm going to ask her if she wants some quilting on the faces, or if she wants more quilting overall, or whatever. A lot of modern pieces are kind of minimalist, and she's kind of that style, so I didn't want to do too much because, you know, it's a whole nother thing taking out quilting than adding quilting. So I've got it bound and everything, but even if I did need to put some extra quilting on it, I think it would be okay to do. It's pretty stable where it's sitting, and if I had to add something to the faces, I could without it bunching up or anything like that. So it is ready to go at this moment if she wants it as is. I just need to give it a really good starch and make it look nice and flat. The white faces, they're not showing up at all on this video. I don't know how it's looking on your end, but right now I don't even hardly see them. But it's not like that in person. You can actually see the white, it's two different whites, but you know, right now it just looks like there's nothing there, but you can see it when you're in person. So anyway, I'm gonna be glad to send that out the door here pretty soon. Other things that are going on. I did go to the quilt store last Wednesday. I didn't mention that on Friday, but I had went to get a piece of batting for this, and I found something just perfect that they had. It was a very thin batting, and I had to get a much bigger piece than I needed because of the width that they had. It was 108, but I only needed 50 inches, so I'll have the other more than half of that for another project like this. So that was okay. So it only wound up being about $12 for that piece of batting, you know, if you calculate it out. So this wasn't a horribly expensive project. I did order a half a yard of each of those Moda grunges on there, the faces. I only used half of it, so I'm only going to charge her half of what that cost was, which I think was about $50 at the most, I think it was. I think that's right. So, yeah, it's not going to wind up being terribly expensive for her. I probably have maybe 8 or 10 hours in it. I didn't log it perfectly like I did the last project that I did, but I think I'm going to clock it out at somewhere between 8 and 10 hours, I would say. It was all chopped up in little pieces, but that's probably what it would be all together. So, yeah, that's done, and I'm happy about that. I still don't have my milk can quilt basted yet, but I'll, you know, it's there ready to go. All I have to do is just do the basting. The backing is done, and I've got the batting, and I'll just need to get that basted and start quilting on it this week. So that's my next short-term goal. The other thing I've been working on are my hexies, and I have my little hexie tray here, and I'm moving right along. Each one of these long rows represents 300 hexies, and I've started another container. I got these little containers of hexies on Amazon, and they were only $12.99 and had a discount coupon with them. I don't know if they're still out there. They're just a generic brand. They have no brand name on them, but they come in this nice little package. they do have a hole in them, and that's for the purpose of getting it out. See that picture there of the hole? That's for getting them out. I read about that on the listing in Amazon, and it said that's for helping you to be able to grab the paper out when you need to get the paper out. So I got a couple of those, and I got another one coming. But anyway, you can go on Amazon and find those. They're only $12.99 for 300. And the first 300 I got from Paper Piecing. Is that what it was? I think they were like $21.99 or something like that. So either somebody transposed a number and this isn't the right price, or I'm just getting a really good deal. So if you need some, go out there and grab them. I cut up my, what is it called? Lotus pattern in Cave. So I have all these that I've done, and I still have quite a bit of that fabric to go through. So I don't know how much this is going to yield. Probably at least, I'll probably almost do 300 with that. After that, I have no more Cave fabric anywhere. So I'll either have to go buy some if I want more, or I'll just have to start stitching these hexagons together and say that's what it's going to be. But I'm enjoying that quite a lot. Got me some more glue too. And I've been working on that in the evenings, not during the day, because I could sit and just do that day and night. It's just so relaxing and fun to do and mindless, and you can do other things while you're doing it. You know, watch a movie or a TV show or a YouTube, or listen to a book, or whatever you want to do. You can do that. You could do that on a trip. You could do it in the car if you're not one to get car sick from looking down. Another thing I did when I was at the quilt store is I picked up this pattern. I would like to know if any of you have made this pattern. And if you have, do you have any tips for me on it? I have some fabric in mind that I want to get and make this out of. A line of fabric. You have to actually make your fabric first. So it's a quilt coat per se, but it's not like taking a quilt and making a coat out of it. You're piecing the fabric to make the coat with. And it is lined, but it's not going to have batting in it. So it's just a lightweight duster, and I just think it's adorable, and all the different things that you could use for that is got my creative juices flowing. But this is called Amy Butler Bella Duster Midwest Modern Sewing Patterns, and I had not used any Amy Butler patterns before. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what else she has. I should look it up. But I took it apart and read the directions. You know, mostly there's quite a lot to making garments, as many of you know. You have to get your pattern instructions out and read through them. Even before you cut your pattern pieces, you need to read every word of that, because sometimes, you know, it factors into how you cut those pattern pieces out. So I'm just about ready to delve into that. So any pointers, please pass them along, especially if you all have made that. And I want to insert a picture here too of a couple of the ladies at the retreat who made a quilt coat like this. I don't know if it's the same pattern, but I think I've got at least one good short video or a picture of one of the ladies in her coat. I was videoing both of them when they, you know, came out in them to show them to us. But I either didn't push record or something. And by the time I decided to stop the video, I noticed, oh, I have no video. So I quickly started trying to get a little bit of video of them. So I'll insert at least a still picture right here.
See that other panel you did too.
Wow. This is all sewed
yeah,
here
let me
inside.
Wow, that is, oh wait, let me get the hat. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
I got that polka dot.
Yeah, it's a 5-yard cut, right? Or
Yeah.
a 3-yard.
This is the polka dot, yeah, I have that one.
So anyway, that got me thinking, I want to make a quilt coat. Either I want to, you know, take a quilt and make a quilt coat, or, you know, make one from scratch like this. Even though this isn't quite a quilt coat, I would like to piece this out and use that pieced fabric for this duster. So that's something different I've never done, is piece fabric to make a garment out of. So usually you just buy what you need of whatever piece of fabric and make your garment, right? But that'll be a fun adventure. I'm just looking here to see if there's anything else I needed to tell you. I had a little lesson learned. Yeah, this is a 3-yard mystery pack from So Yeah. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was probably the normal $18. This is flannel, and it's got toys on it. It's got robots and tops and rockets and bears and dolls, baby carriage. Yeah. I need to not buy those mystery packages because this might be what you get. Now, I don't do anything with children's fabric. You guys might do a lot with children's fabrics. As a matter of fact, I know some of you that make a lot of things for your grandchildren and a lot of, you know, novelty fabric type projects. This is flannel. It's called Christmas Joys Flannel. Well, you guys know that I don't celebrate Christmas, but it doesn't really have anything Christmas on it. There's nothing Christmas on here. It's just toys. So, and it has a weird smell to it. It's flannel. Does flannel smell weird? I've never bought flannel that smelled weird, but I've never messed with flannel too much either. But anyway, there's that. There's another kind of quilting I'm interested that's kind of like sashiko. It's called Kantha, Kantha. I think that's what it is, which I would like to try. And what they do is you piece these. Well, originally it was leftovers from Indian scarves, like the country India, leftover pieces from where they cut their big scarves out of, and you piece those together like patchwork, and then you run these long stitches, like 1/2-inch stitches, up and down, up and down, up and down, and it makes a really, really cool quilt. And they tend to use a lighter inside batting, and sometimes they use flannel. So I'll keep it around for a little while and see if I can use it in a Kantha quilt. If I get ambitious enough to take on yet another project, not just another project, but another type of project. Lesson learned, lesson learned. I forgot on Friday, I did show you this. This is from the Hometown Charms. It's the block for last Wednesday. And I forgot to talk about what she wanted us to think about when we made this. And the subject was food, your hometown food. What is your hometown famous for food-wise? And this might be why I didn't mention it, because I could not think of anything related to my area as far as food other than popcorn. It's food. But, you know, I don't know. It just didn't seem significant at the time to mention it. Plus, I totally forgot to mention it. But there are some people in our area who have been known for many, many, many decades of raising popcorn in the fields and packaging their own popcorn. And yeah, you might even know the name Cousin Willie. Do your stores sell Cousin Willie popcorn? Well, that's from my area. Cousin Willie popcorn, right here. Anyway, on this subject of this Hometown Charms Pat Sloan sew along, she actually commented on my Finish It Friday video. And I came across that the other day and I was like, Pat Sloan? Oh, cool, Pat Sloan. She's commenting on one of my videos, but evidently she had watched more than just that video, because she mentioned that she's been enjoying me talking about the blocks and my hometown, or my area that I'm from. So you just never know who's watching you. Thanks, Pat. If you're watching this video, thank you so much for watching my videos. I feel honored. All right, so what else do we have to talk about today? I don't think I have anything going on special this week that's going to keep me from sewing or cause me to have to sew till my fingers are sewn to the bone. That's weird. No, not that. That's gross. I have been enjoying a little chat group, if you will, with the Hexies. We have a very small group that we're, you know, just texting each other and talking about our Hexies and sending pictures and joking around and stuff like that. So I enjoy that. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to share with you today. I feel like it's been short, but maybe it hasn't. Yeah, I guess that's it. So get something out, drag something out you haven't touched for a while. I'll present a little challenge for you. Go in your sewing area, your room, your shed, your basement, whatever, and pull out one thing that you haven't worked on for at least a month, and do something on it and report back to me. You can leave a comment or send me an email and tell me about it. Something like that, just so I can keep track of you. I've got about, dare I count how many projects I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 10. And that's not counting this or the Hexie. So probably 12-ish that I have that I'm working on. Some are at a standstill because they just need basted and quilted, and that just takes time for me. But I will get the milk cans going this week. That'll be my main goal this week, is to do maybe one Harriet's Journey, at least one shimmer block, and baste that quilt, if not start quilting on that quilt. I really like that when I start to quilt a quilt, I really like to go, you know, and get it done, get it in and get it out, because, you know, it's thread, the feet you use, all that stuff figures into, you know, getting something done. You don't have to be taking in and out bobbins and different needles and different feet. So, I mean, some people might not find that annoying, but when I start to do either straight line stitching or free motion stitching, whatever it is, and the binding, I like to just get in there and just go from start to finish and get it done. I don't like stopping and, you know, and several days later start quilting again. It has to be in and out of here. Okay, so that's enough for now. So that's your little challenge for this week, is drag something out and do a little something on it. And if you don't have such a thing, well, just keep working on what you're working on and just give it a few minutes a day. Give it some attention, and you'll soon reap the rewards, both mentally, emotionally, physically. You'll even create space in your sewing room because you won't have to find a place to put things. You'll have things under control. All right, that's enough. Thanks for listening to my babbling on today, and we will see you on Wednesday for the vintage vintage mystery block, and then again on Friday for Finish It Friday. So have a great week, and we'll see you then. Bye.